I agree with that, and I think that this is a team that's getting better. Jimmy Johnson is getting his own team, and I think that's why he got rid of Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker was the running back that you had to run the ball to 25 or 30 times a game. I think Jimmy Johnson wanted to get away from that. He wants to be a passing team. Troy Aikman is his quarterback. He's going to be a great one in this league. So today, if they are going to do anything offensively, it has to be Troy Aikman. And the thing that Jimmy Johnson worries about is, can he control that line of scrimmage? Can he get the pass protection for his quarterback? That's what he has to do.
Well, he'll have a chance to find out very early because the Cowboys have won the toss and they will receive the kickoff. Roger Ruzick will kick it off for the Eagles. He was with the Cowboys up until 2 weeks ago. And Zendejas, the Eagles kicker, was with the Cowboys. And this has been a musical chair situation with the exchange of kickers. In fact, the two of them met in midfield before the game started and swapped apartment keys. One in Philadelphia for Ruzick, and one here for Zendejas.
One thing in this league, Pat, I don't think you want to take a long-term lease on an apartment if you're a kicker.
James Dixon back deep. And it'll be Derek Shepard who handles the kickoff and gets back to about the 24. A return of 9. Troy Aikman will start at quarterback. He missed 5 weeks because of an injury. Had a hot week last week, 25 out of 33, and he'll operate this offense. Tuine, Newton, Rafferty, Crawford Kerr, and Kevin Gogan with Steve Folsom, the tight end. Paul Palmer and Darrell Johnston, the running backs. James Dixon and Derek Shepard open at wide receiver, as the Cowboys have really been decimated at wide receiver. Sargent and Johnston open at running back. First down, Dallas by Darrell Johnston. A pickup of 11, stopped by Wes Hopkins, and let's look at the defense. The Philadelphia Eagles very tough defensively. White, Pitts, Brown, and Clyde Simmons having a great year. Reichenbach starts at outside linebacker for the first time in his career. Evans and Harris the other two. In the secondary, Jenkins and Allen the corners, Hopkins and Waters the two safeties. First and 10. Dallas at their own 36. Dixon split wide to the right. Aikman the quarterback. Johnston again. And he pulls his way almost to midfield before he's stopped by Clyde Simmons.
I think the Cowboys realized what they had in Darrell Johnston last week. You can see he gained 50 yards, and they just started to use him. They started this game with two fullbacks, Darrell Johnston and Broderick Sargent. So that has to be their plan. Come out, get some running, run straight at him, try and soften up that defense, and calm the pass rush down before it starts.
Another first down for Dallas at their own 49. First and 10 from there. Palmer now is the deep back. Started in Kansas City, acquired from Detroit. Palmer into Eagle territory, stopped by Byron Evans.
I think I'd keep pounding Johnston at him. I mean, they got something going. Johnston was a second-round draft choice out of Syracuse, rookie, and he's just getting the feeling of this offense, and I think that they have just figured out that they can be a fullback running team.
That now a final score. The Lions upset the Browns in Detroit 13-10. Second down. They need 7. Aikman to throw it. Screen pass attempt incomplete.
This is a new thing that the Eagles are doing, Pat. You see they're wearing their black shoes. Last week they had 13 guys wearing them. Reggie White got them for all the guys. He said he was watching Colorado play Nebraska. And he said Colorado was wearing black shoes and he kind of liked it. So he asked any of the other guys if they wanted to, and he got a load of them, put them on. They got a note from the NFL that that's not part of the uniform code, but they're doing it anyway.
of them even has a wristband around his ankle to go with the black shoes.
It's an honor of Thanksgiving.
Aikman out of the pocket. He can run. Slides at the Eagle 35. Andre Waters made sure he stayed down, but he got 13 and another Dallas first down.
This is a tough guy, Troy Aikman. You know, you can talk about his arm and about his passing ability and his talent, but I'll tell you, he'll hang in there, and if you give him a hole like this, he is going to take it. Look at that big gap there. See, they didn't stay in their pass rush lanes. Now, once he gets by here, he can see that he can get 10 yards before he has to go into the slide.
He's not only a tough guy, he's a big guy. About 220.
He's out Oklahoma.
Making a lot of money. Darrell Johnson, the ball carrier, but a flag on the play. We'll take it, says Jimmy Johnson.
I'll tell you, Buddy Ryan is probably saying, I told you guys. He'd been preaching. It's a short week, and he'd been preaching to his guys, hey, this is an improved team, and these guys are going to come after you.
99 defense. Offside. 5-yard penalty. For a first down.
That was Jerome Brown. That's Gene Barth. The referee, 1st and 5 for the Cowboys at the Eagle 31, just inside there. Again, a happy Thanksgiving Day. It couldn't be more delightful than it is here in Texas today, as far as the weather and the playing conditions are concerned. Palmer is the lone setback. Started wide, came back inside, stopped again by Jerome Brown.
That was a pretty good move by Paul Palmer there. They just picked him up. Remember, he was the Kansas City Chiefs and then the Detroit Lions. They picked him up, and it's supposed to be that counter tray, and he just stops there. He sees that whole big bunch of guys. He just stops and makes a cut back about 2 holes before he was supposed to.
2nd and 2.
That's what that quickness gives you. You know, those guys that can cut on a dime, the hole's not there. They don't have to run into it anyway.
Palmer has been very effective since he's been here. Now they're back to the 2 fullback situation. That's Roderick Sargent. Maybe 2 and maybe a first down.
Buddy's standing over there. He wants him to pass because he wants to see what kind of blitzes are going to work. He doesn't like this when someone keeps the ball on him and controls it and runs it.
That's what he likes to do. But he doesn't.
He thinks the only way you can have a real good defense is to have a good running game.
He went back and did some personal surveys himself of the teams that had won the Super Bowl, about 2 inches short, looks like. And he said no team has ever gotten and won the Super Bowl unless they could run the ball. 3rd down.
You know, this isn't a bad thing. If you have 3rd and inches, this isn't a bad play pass down. You know, if you're going to take a shot, you're on the 25-yard line, you can go for it on 4th down. This isn't a bad thing. Get them all bunched up and give them that play fake and throw one.
Jerry Rome standing next to Jimmy Johnson. They'll go for it. They won't get it. That was Sargent, the ball carrier, hit first by Jerome Brown with an assist from Mike Pitts. No gain.
Yeah, Jerome Brown is a big guy. He's over 300 pounds. And when he gets going, watch him. Jerome Brown is right there. And when he gets in your backfield, see, he gets some penetration, there isn't going to be a hole there. There isn't any cut back there. Like there's a whole bunch of green-shirted, black-shoed guys on that pile.
They might have lost about a half yard on that. Zendejas with Saxon holding. 45 yards. No good. And after a very impressive beginning, the Cowboys get down in Eagle territory and come away with nothing. Defense led by Jerome Brown. 9:27 left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. Randall Cunningham, the Eagles quarterback, In front of him will be Darwin, Shad, Alexander, Solt, Ron Heller at tackle, and Keith Jackson back at tight end. Byers and Tony start at running backs, although Byers often is split out of the backfield. Johnson and Carter are the wide receivers. Randall, Cunningham. Last week threw it 43 times against the Vikings. They've had tough time scoring. Byers lined up as a tight end to the left this time. Tony on first down. Got a couple. That's all. Willie Broughton brought him down. That's the Dallas front four. Notice the absence of Ed Too Tall Jones. Talbert starting instead of him. 2nd and 8 situation. The linebackers Del Rio, Lockhart having an outstanding year in the middle. And that's the secondary. Walls, Williams, Horton, and Albritton. 2nd and 8. Flag on the play. Byers and Tony were the two backs behind Cunningham. There's Ed Jones. Remarkable career he's had.
I'll tell you, and he's 15 years in the league, and not starting now, but a guy that has added so much to this Dallas Cowboy organization and this team. Well, he's a great player in the field, a great representative off the field.
2nd down. They need 3. About a yard shy. Jeffcoat and Jack Del Rio brought him down.
Jack Del Rio is one of those new players that the Cowboys got since the season started. You know, the first part of the season they were picking up guys like Jack Del Rio. They were getting guys on offense, defense from all over the league. And after they finally traded Herschel Walker, Jimmy Johnson had a meeting with the team and he said, okay guys, this is it. This is our team now. And he said since that time everyone's felt a lot better about it.
That's a quick kneel down by Gene Barth. And they're about an inch shy of the first down, it appears.
I'll tell you one thing.
Beg your pardon.
It is a first down, and Randall Cunningham was saying the play that he hates the most to do is quarterback sneak. I was going to say, even if it were short, I bet one thing you wouldn't see is a quarterback sneak.
Cunningham back to throw it. Outside to Keith Jackson. A favorite pass play of late by the Eagles, but not much there, only a yard. Vince Albritton up in a hurry to knock Keith Jackson down.
Well, one thing, the Cowboys feel that on defense, the guy that they have to stop is Keith Jackson, that they feel that it's Cunningham's security blanket. You know, by having him in there, he knows that no matter what happens, he can always go and get a completion most of the time to Keith Jackson.
Of course, he had a great rookie year last year. To Byers and nothing there. Kim Norton was the first Cowboy to hit him with an assist from Lockhart.
Hear that crowd? They're just getting. They've either eaten their turkey already, and then they come to the game, or they come to their game, and then they go eat their turkey.
Or else, if they have one of those luxury boxes, they eat it during the game.
Or you can do all of the above. Eat it before, during, after. That's what it is. Turkey and football goes together. Something about it. Good mixture.
3rd down. Cunningham incomplete. Intended for Byers. Manny Hendricks made the stop. Dean Hamill is the man who put the pressure on Cunningham.
And this is the exact way the Cowboys wanted to start today. To be able to control the line of scrimmage, to move the ball, which they did on their first drive, put pressure on Cunningham.
Max Runiger. Been around a while. Derek Shepard back deep for the Cowboys. Shepard's kick is a good one. Shepard retreated all the way to the 10-yard line. Got away from the first wave of Eagles. And gets back to about the 18 before he is stopped by Ricky Shaw. 53-yard punt by Runniger, 6-yard return, so they net 47. Well done. And again, a happy Thanksgiving to you. Back at Texas Stadium on a delightful day. 0-0 yet. Average yard rushing so far. The Cowboys with Johnston. A couple of strong runs early. Doing well.
I think they ought to stay with that. They don't even have him in the game. They got Paul Palmer back there now.
Palmer the lone setback. John said. Aikman semi-sprint out. Let him hurry. And does. Gets it to Steve Folsom, complete. That's a tough throw.
That's the type of thing that Aikman can do, though. He can move. He can move to his left and still throw the ball. Now, as you say, this is a tough throw because you're sprinting out to your left. Then you're getting pressure. That's what makes it tough. You're getting pressure, and a guy's going to come up and hit you right in the head and then make that completion.
That's Reggie White that hits him.
And, you know, and he just had a concussion 2 weeks ago. In fact, he still has a hematoma in his right ear.
And that sounds serious.
That's a big old hematoma.
And there is nothing there. Clyde Simmons on the stop, a loss of 2.
I think the Cowboys' first idea in this game, Pat, when they went to the 2 fullbacks, Daryl Johnston and Broderick Sargent, just banged it with man blocking right at him, is probably the way to go. Draw stuff and delay stuff does not work well against the Eagles because they're a big pass rush team.
And all 4 of those up front guys are very, very active. 2nd and 12. That's Jerry Rome on the headset.
Jerry Rome has probably had as much to do with Troy Aikman's advancement in this league as anyone.
Cornell Burbage is the man in motion, and Aikman back to throw, and he's going to be hurried out of there. They get the ball to Palmer. Screen pass, he's knocked out of bounds. Flag on the play. Jenkins knocked him out of bounds.
There's a lot of talk on that sideline after a hit, isn't there?
Against the Eagles.
I heard one of the officials say when the ball's in the air, you can't hit him.
Buddy Ryan.
Billy Wisconsin, 46 defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, and a first down.
And a first down. That's the big factor. They did not have enough yardage to give him a first down.
Yeah, that's a tough thing that Isaiah Jenkins had to do there. A screen pass is in the backfield, and it's like a running play. So you can use your hands on a running play to play off a blocker. But what they're saying is a ball was in the air. Then if you use your hands when the ball's in the air, it's pass interference.
33-yard line is the line of scrimmage at Randall. Cunningham communicates with the Eagles staff. Burbage again in motion. This is Palmer to the 35. 2-yard gain stopped by Andre Waters.
You know, here's what the Eagles do, Pat. If we look at it, you know, in that 46 defense, you see they put the 3 guys in here. Now here's Reggie White over the center. Now they put Clyde Simmons over here, put their 3 linebackers on this side. They got their safety up, so they get 8 men in this box. And that is darn near impossible to run against.
Part of the reason they do that is so they get single blocking on Reggie White. He's tired of those double teams.
Yeah, and he likes to play over the center because of the single block.
Blitz coming. Aikman's pass is intercepted by Golick. And Golick is out of bounds deep in Dallas territory.
Golick is a happy defensive lineman. I think that's the 2nd time in 2 weeks he's handled the ball. Last week, Reggie White picked up a fumble, and he lateraled it to Golick. Golick is looking at this. He's saying, look, I'm just standing on the line of scrimmage. He was right there. He was being blocked. He was being blocked up there by Nate Newton, just standing there, and here comes the ball.
The pressure is what caused everything.
Yeah, but the guy who got the interception didn't put the pressure on. He was the cop that was hanging around the line of scrimmage.
That's his first career interception, and the Eagles have the ball at the Cowboys 13. Fumble. Jack Del Rio gets the ball back for Dallas.
That's the type of play you need from a defense. When something bad happens to your offense, instead of getting down, you get up, go in there, get the ball back. You watch a reverse pivot here. Cunningham lost the ball as he was coming out on his reverse pivot.
He never really had it. He didn't have any idea where the ball was, but Jack Del Rio did. 3:52 left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. The Eagles get an interception, and the Cowboys get a fumble recovery. They've got the ball back now at their own 14-yard line, 1st and 10. That's Daryl Johnston again. This time, what worked the first couple of times out didn't work this time. Here's the fumble.
You know, on that fumble, watch it. Mike Chad is a pulling guard. As he comes by, he hits the ball and knocks it out of Cunningham's hand. But watch it on the clicker here. You see, right there, his right hand. See the left guard when he pulled? He hits it right there, knocks the ball out of Cunningham's hand as he's going on a reverse pivot. That's something. A poor old guard, you're just trying to make a block, and what happens? You whap the ball out of your quarterback's hand.
Daryl Johnston again. The lone setback. Aikman back to throw it. Outside quickly. With Derek Shepard incomplete. Aikman, in all fairness, has not had much time. The Eagles putting great pressure on him.
Well, and the other thing, in all fairness to Aikman, is, you know, he lost Kelvin Martin, who was his top receiver.
Right.
He got hurt last week. He's lost Michael Irvin, his other receiver. In fact, it's ironic. You know, the Cowboys have had 7 guys that have torn anterior cruciate ligaments. And that's the worst ligament injury you can have. But they've had 7 of them this year, 2 of them to their starting wide receiver.
That's an awful lot in one spot.
Well, that's the injury that takes the longest time to rehabilitate, too.
Flag on the play. Too much time.
Delay a game, number 8 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Still 3rd down, and here's that changing offense you were talking about, John.
If you look, when they started out, Michael Irvin and Kelvin Martin were the wide receivers, and then the next thing you see is the guys that are starting today, Dixon and Shepard. Scott and Walker were the 2 running backs, and now it's Palmer and Johnston. So 4 of the guys that he is throwing to are different.
3rd and 13. It's tough to make progress. Flag again on the play. Aikman is thrown down in the end zone. And a fracas breaks out. Brett Hager was the man who hit him with flags all over the place.
That's going to be a penalty against the Eagles.
This is one of those that continues.
Look at Gogan there. He's going in a stand. This is a real fight.
That was Jerome Brown that Gogan was going after. We need the Marcus of Queensberry here instead of Gene Barth.
They need a cage to put those guys in, a cage match.
They forgot it's Thanksgiving.
Well, one thing, that just because the offense moves, that doesn't give the defense a free shot at your quarterback. Britt Hager come in and hit Aikman, so that has to be a penalty against the Eagles.
We've got encroachment on the defense, followed by offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls, with the exception that number 74 defense is disqualified. 74 defense is disqualified.
I still don't agree with that. They still gave, even though they throw Mike Pitts out of the game, you don't get a free shot. You see, they jumped off on defense. Now the whistle blows. They're stopping the thing. You don't get a free shot to come in and throw the quarterback down.
It's
That's
not 74. It's 54. It's Hager.
Well, Hager was the first guy that made the hit. I would say that Pitts probably did something in here. See 74 there? Probably something in that pile, some action in there.
And Buddy Ryan wants to make sure who is disqualified. Hager's the guy who made the hit on Aikman.
Well, the guy that originally jumped off sides was Jerome Brown. The whistle doesn't blow, they can get the quarterback. If the whistle does blow, then they shouldn't be able to hit him.
And now they are saying that it was Pitts who was disqualified. But I think they're going to take another look.
I don't know what they disqualified him for, but they could disqualify him.
Let me restate the fouls. We had an encroachment foul against the defense, which was enforced. We have offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls. However, the Philadelphia foul was a disqualification foul on number 74.
It was number 74. I didn't see what he did.
Well, you're in the pile, see? He's right here in the middle of the pile, right there. So you can see what he's going to do. That's what they took. That punch right there on Gogan. That had to be it. He just got the right hand in there. Now watch Gogan come back, man. Those both hands are pumping up. Yeah. Look, he got those elbows in. Here comes Reggie. That was a free-for-all.
That's about as long as you'll see one last. Here's Aikman. Eric Shepard, the intended receiver, was a late punch by Pitts that caused that disqualification. And after all that, we'll have Mike Saxon coming to punt us. Henry Williams, Gizmo back deep for the Eagles. He's been having all kind of difficulties.
Hey, one thing, this game has started off with some real high intensity.
Really?
Yeah, it's 72 on the level.
Saxon. Williams at his own 36. Wrestled out of bounds by Vince Albrecht. A lot of shouting going on now over in front of the Eagle bench.
Yeah, they were trying to yell for a face mask penalty.
They got face mask, didn't they?
In fact, I did see a flag come out. That official could have been talked into that one, Pat.
In front of the Eagle bench.
We have a 5-yard face mask penalty tacked on from the end of the run. 5 yards.
Let's see.
Well, here's Gizmo, and it's going to happen right here in front of the bench. He did grab the face mask. That is a legitimate call.
He did try to let it go very quickly, but it's still called. Nothing. Pat Summerall, John Madden at Texas Stadium. 2:49 remain first quarter. Here's what happened to Pitts' hand during the fight. When you punch somebody who has a helmet on, you have to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, and you can see they're still working on his hand down there. That's why when guys fight, they put tape and gloves and stuff on. Pitts looked like he'd been in more than one of those things. You see the scars on that hand? That doesn't look like the first time that deal got like that.
Gogan looked like he knew what he was doing, too, didn't he?
Well, he had a lot of motion. He had a lot of things. He kept his elbows in, his chin down, but didn't get any work in.
Here's Cunningham. Swings it out to Jackson. Del Rio was with him. Jackson spun away for 5 yards.
Jack Del Rio is playing pretty well for this Cowboy team. He looks very alert. He's been around. Remember when he was playing at USC? He was he was also a heck of a baseball player, and he had to decide whether to be a baseball player or a linebacker. He decided to go the linebacker route.
And then it was New Orleans, and then Kansas City, and now here.
I remember him when he was in high school. A great high school athlete in every sport.
Cunningham to Myers. Myers in the backfield. The Cowboys' pursuit is excellent. Norton made the stop.
Yeah, one thing, Pat, they're still working on Mike Pitts in the sideline, and because he's been thrown out, he's going to have to leave the field. They don't let him stay out there, and I think maybe because they're working on him, he can stay out this long. But what they like to do is when a guy is thrown out, they like to kind of sneak him off the field and not let the crowd get excited about it.
A quiet departure. Cunningham out of the spread. To come out of there, and does, and he can run with the best. Out of bounds at about the Dallas 21. 25-yard pickup for Randall Cunningham.
And this is what he does so well. I mean, you have to have a spy, and you have to have everything on Randall Cunningham. You see him, he's back here. Now, if you don't stay in your lane, you give him the lane. You see he's going to see the lane here, but then if he can get through that, even though there is a spy on him, Randall Cunningham is good enough to be the spy. See the move right there? He gets a block and a move, and then he has the talent and the speed to make a long gain out of it.
Eagles have a first down deep in Dallas territory now. Anthony Toney bangs over the left side, stopped by Eugene Lockhart.
Yeah, that shows what a great player Randall Cunningham is, because everyone knows that he can scramble or run, so they keep a spy on him, a guy that just mirrors him and stays with him. So now the Eagles know that. So when he goes to scramble, boom, they send a blocker to the spy.
And there are not a lot of spies who can stay up with him anyway. Myers in motion. Of Norton. Good grab.
Myers is a guy who moves all over. He's not only in the backfield, tight end, wide receiver. Probably Keith Jackson is the favorite target of Randall Cunningham, and the second favorite target is Keith Byers.
He that time was lined up as a wide receiver. It's funny, you know, John, when he was at Ohio State, he had a reputation, of course, as a great running back, and nobody knew he could catch the ball. But in the last couple of years, he has really emerged as a fine receiver.
Well, and he's, probably, with Mike Quick out now and not having that receiver, that big play receiver, the Eagles' passing game is more of that possession type thing with Byers and Jackson.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Cowboys nothing and the Eagles nothing. At Texas Stadium. Just beginning the second quarter. No scores yet, but the Eagles have it. Third down and 1 at the Cowboy 12 as Mike Pitts, who is involved in that fight in the first quarter, has left the field. Ejected and dejected. By Ray Horton.
Hey, this is the area that Buddy Ryan has been most concerned about, and maybe not only for this game, but for this whole run at the playoffs. Getting inside the 20 and then, boom, getting it in the end zone. As we said earlier, they have only scored 1 touchdown in 8 quarters.
And that was last week against the Vikings, and it took a miraculous catch to accomplish that.
Yeah, Chris Carter made a kind of a one-handed type of thing in the end zone. It was a great catch.
That's Carter in motion. Cunningham goes to Carter. Norton on the defense. It'll bring up a second down and goal from the 8.
Yeah, I think that's what it goes back to. I think it goes back to not really having a great running game and then you get down there and you have to pass, and the closer you get to the goal line, the tougher it is to pass, because everything shortens up, and when you don't have any deep threat, that's an advantage to the defense.
The ball's at the 9, actually. Second and goal from there. Draw play at 5. Hit by Willie Broughton at about the 6. Pickup of 3.
You watch this draw or delay type of play. You see it's kind of a counter, and then they come back. But the Cowboys played it well. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They had their secondary up, everyone in a lane. This is a big, here's an area that Randall Cunningham likes to spread the defense out and then have the option to either throw it or run it and throw it.
And he can do both. The lob. Touchdown to Carter. On the other side of the field from last week's great catch, but another touchdown nevertheless. Williams was a defender.
That was a great catch there. I think he ended up getting it with the one hand. It started out with a two-hand and then looked like it ended up as a one-handed catch. Randall Cunningham is just going to come back. It's a timing thing. 1, 2, 3, boom, throw it up over there. Now watch this catch Carter makes. He goes up, has it in two hands, then he has to bring it down with one hand.
Ruzek with the extra point, with Runniger holding. And that makes it 7-0 Eagles. Another sensational catch by Carter. Two hands, then one hand. Basically, there have been two highlights so far. Mike Pitts, in a fight midway in the first quarter, was disqualified. And Chris Carter just caught that sensational touchdown pass. Here's what started the fight. Here's how it all began.
Well, again, it started, the whistle blew. Britt Hager came in and threw Aikman to the ground. Aikman started the fight. Now, you don't see that too often. Now, I think he's smart enough to get the heck out of there, number 8. In fact, Tuane grabs him and pushes him out. Then you see the action down there, and the guy who finally gets thrown out is number 74, Mike Pitts.
Just keep watching. He'll become further involved.
Threw that right hand right there.
And then he'll throw another one. Yeah. In any case, the Eagles score on a 7-yard touchdown pass from Cunningham to Carter. They lead 7-0. Ruzek kicks off to Dixon. Fumble. Ruzek falls on it and keeps it.
That was the reason that Jimmy Johnson got rid of Roger Ruzek, because of his short kickoff. Now he kicks a short kickoff. The Eagles just signed him the other day. He kicks a short kickoff, fumbles, and Ruzek gets a recovery. See, you like to kick the ball off to the goal line. That was on the 10-yard line.
Now he does a wise thing right here. Instead of trying to pick it up, just fall on it.
You don't see a kicker make many plays after he kicks. You know,
no, you don't, as a matter of fact.
Like tackling and fighting and recovering plays and those types of things.
They're going to review this.
After review by the replay official, the call stands. First down.
Yeah, that ball was popped out well before Dixon went down. The only thing review did is waste some time.
That was a quick review, however. And the Eagles have it 1st and 10 at the Cowboys' 43-yard line. Here's Cunningham after the fake, looking deep. That should be intercepted or knocked down at least, and is. Ron Johnson was the intended receiver. The Cowboys had him doubled.
Yeah, that's the thing when you have a quarterback that has a lot of confidence. He will try and get something in even though there is double coverage. I mean, they got Johnson covered every way you can cover a guy. And they got him short and deep, front and back, in and out. They had him in a sandwich.
Isaac Holt and Ray Horton were back there with him. Horton playing, or Holt rather, playing in place of Emerson Walls right now. Myers with a one-handed snag. Jesse Solomon was the defender with him, a one-handed catch. They specialize in those things.
As you say, I think part of that is the type of thing that they just throw so many passes and catch so many passes and know each other so well that these things just come naturally. I think Cunningham really has a feeling with those two guys, with Keith Jackson and Keith Byers.
3rd and 2. Byers again lined up as a tight end. Cunningham out of the pocket again. With room again. And an Eagle first down. Stopped by Lockhart after a gain of 7.
That's where this team is so dangerous, Pat, this Eagle team. You get them in that 3rd down, and with Cunningham, you always get that 3-way go. You only need 5 yards, so you call a pass. And then again, he could go back, pass it for a touchdown, as he did to Chris Carter. He could go back and run and throw it, or he could go back and run enough to get the first down.
Which is exactly what he did at the Dallas 28. Eagles lead 7-0. And off Byers, gets away from one man, stopped by Jeffcoat.
You know, here's the thing. We look at the line here, and then we're going to get to blitz. Now, this is a run blitz where you just get all of these gaps filled. So it's not the pass thing. It's a first down. So you just hit holes. Now you see here, the Cowboys have every hole filled. There is no place to run.
And it brings up a 2nd and 10. Danny Noonan jumped a little early, I think.
You know, that's the other thing Randall Cunningham is a master at, changing that count.
Defense, number 73, encroachment, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That was one where the defensive lineman, instead of watching the ball, is listening to the cadence. And then you get that thing, that hard count that Cunningham gives you, and whap, you jump.
2nd and 5 then for Philadelphia. See if we can hear that count. If he does it again. Quick this time. The Myers touchdown. What a throw. That had to be perfect, and it was. What a penalty.
As you say, that was a heck of a throw. That was shot out of a cannon.
73 offense. A jam to the face, 10-yard penalty, replay the down.
He threw that thing right over Eugene Lockhart. The penalty is on 73, Ron Heller. He's the right tackle. He'll be at the top of the picture right there. You see 73? See, they said right there. You see him hit him with the right hand in the face? To me, I think that's pretty good pass protection.
He had perfect position, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you have to let those guys use their hands, but if you get them to the face, then it's a penalty.
2nd and 15. Byers split wide to the right this time. And Cunningham throws the screen pass to Tony. Chased by Jeffcoat and brought down by Jeffcoat and Jesse Solomon.
Yeah, the guy got that penalty, Ron Heller, there, has turned into a pretty good tackle. I mean, he's a good run blocker. He's a good pass protector. He's a big guy. He reminds me of Howie Long. Look at him. I mean that face and the way he talks and stuff, it reminds me of a defensive guy. But he's a tough guy, you know, and he's one of those guys that will block on the line of scrimmage. Then, when the play goes downfield, he'll run downfield and pick off the 2nd or 3rd guy.
3rd and 11. Misses Ron Johnson, incomplete. we'll see a field goal try, I think, by Ruzick. I know it'll be Ruzick. Unless there's a fake involved.
Yeah, about Tuesday or last weekend, Roger Ruzick didn't expect this kind of thing. He's out of football. He's not any place they call him up. Here he is on Thanksgiving Day kicking off, recovering footballs, getting booed in Dallas Stadium, wearing a green jersey.
Matt Cavanaugh is the holder. Ruzick from 47 yards. Somebody on the Eagle offensive front set drew the Cowboys offside.
I would think so.
False start, 79 offense. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
And Ruzick didn't get a shot.
I'll tell you, that was a big play because, as you say, that took him out of field goal range, or what Buddy Ryan thinks is field goal range, and puts him back into a punt situation.
With Max Runiger back. Max Runiger,
where Shad's having a tough time. He was the guy that knocked the ball out of Cunningham's hand on that fumble.
Derek Shepard standing back at about the 10 for Dallas. Runiger will aim it at the sideline. This looks like a pretty good kick. Goes into the end zone. They almost had a chance to knock it backwards. Lilly was there trying to do that, but it went into the end zone. The Eagles lead the Cowboys 7-0 in the second quarter. At Summerall, John Madden back at Texas Stadium, where the Eagles lead the Cowboys 7-0 in the second quarter. 9 minutes 52 seconds remaining. Tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, the Razorbacks of Arkansas against Texas A&M at College Station. Tough place to play, I can tell you.
I'll tell you, I see the Arkansas band is here today. Then they got to go, so they got a tough deal too. In fact, on the bus, when we go up to Washington, we'll go through Arkansas tonight.
Here's Aikman to Folsom. Incomplete, almost. Byron Evans back there with him.
You know, that last play, it really is something. When you get to the 34-yard line and you have to punt in the National Football League, and then you punt in the end zone, you only really picked up 14 yards. And you'd think that the Eagles are at their position in their development that somehow you shouldn't have to punt from the 34-yard line.
Well, they've changed kickers. Maybe Buddy Ryan just didn't believe. Here's Aikman, 1 out of 6 so far. Pass complete to Derek Shepard. A gain of 8. Reichenbach made the stop.
Derek Shepard is the guy who started out in the first game of the season. The Cowboys played the New Orleans Saints, and Shepard was on the Saint team. In fact, he had a big return in that game, and then the Saints later waived him, and Jimmy Johnson remembered it and picked him up, and now he's a starting wide receiver.
3rd and about 2. Cowboys operating from their own 28-yard line. Aikman again. Out of the pocket, he'll get the first down and more. Slides at about the 37, a pickup of 7. Clyde Simmons.
Hey, here's a good matchup, Pat. Here's one that I love. Watch Nate Newton here against Jerome Brown. Now, this is two guys that really go over 300 pounds apiece. Now, this is like two sumo wrestlers out here. Boom, they get in it. They're just pushing, shoving, knocking each other around. Those guys are going to be two sore big guys after this game.
So Aikman scrambled for the first down. Both quarterbacks, as a matter of fact, have more yards rushing than they do passing. Palmer, left side. Not much. Maybe 5, though.
You ever notice how a heavy guy will always pick up his pants, always pull up his pants? You watch Nate Newton. He made a good block that time on Jerome Brown. Then they always pull up their pants. And your shirt tail's always hanging out. I think when you're a fat guy, You always dream of the day that your shirt tail won't hang out.
Second down, 5. Aikman to Fulton. Not enough for a first. Stopped by Eric Allen.
You see that? It's automatic. You always block, and then you pull up your pants. I've done that all my life, so that's not something you're getting here. I mean, you just watch him here. Watch the protection here. You're going to see Nate Newton there against Brown. You see Brown starting to the outside, then he clubs back to the inside. Then he just gets a push, but when you get that type of thing, there's no way that you can just push that guy. And then the minute it's over, you got to pull the pants up. So you get those pants pulled up there where they belong.
The problem is they won't stay up.
Well, you got some combinations.
3rd and 2. Aikman back to throw it again. Over the head of James Dixon. And the Cowboys will have to punt it away.
Well, they got the ball out towards midfield where they can punt from good field position and kind of back the Eagles up a little here.
Henry Williams, Gizmo back deep for the Eagles. Mike Saxon to punt it. His first one, 48 yards. Good snap. Saxon gets off a bullet. Chases Gizmo back inside the 10. And he's knocked around back there. Good kick by Saxon and good coverage by the special teams. Junior Toddlatossi down to cover it. 48-yard punt by Saxon. A return of 5. 7-0. Eagles. Second quarter, 6:35 left to play before halftime. The Eagles 7, the Cowboys nothing. The Eagles have the ball at their own 14-yard line. Jesse Solomon finally made the stop. The Eagles have had pretty secure control of things so far. 1 turnover, 3 times inside the 20-yard line they've been. Only got 7 points. 1 penalty brought back a touchdown pass from Cunningham to Byers. And the other penalty moved them out of field goal range. They had to punt.
That's the type of thing that'll make a coach have a tough time digesting his turkey on Thanksgiving, I'll tell you.
Cunningham again to Tony. Flag on the play, a late one. Eugene Lockhart made the stop.
That's going to be a holding penalty against the Eagles. Well, that's a penalty I think they ought to just throw out. That it never used to be, that holding against the run.
65 offense, holding. 10-yard penalty, repeat the first down.
I mean, they ought to just let him block. 65 is right here, is Ron Salt. And you used to just let them drive into each other and, and kind of punch around in there a little. Now, I don't think that's the play that held Hamill out of there. I mean, that was a block, and he just kind of turned him. Tony ran by. And I think that's an equalizer penalty.
Makes it 1st and 20. Cunningham quickly to the outside. Stopped by Solomon. In the earlier game today in Detroit, the Lions upset Cleveland 13-10. The rookie Sanders, the first back this year for Detroit, and in the NFL, as a matter of fact, to rush for 1,000 yards this year. That's what it does. That's Isaac Holt, who's down, number 30 for the Cowboys. He had replaced Everson Walls. 7-0. Eagles lead. 7-0 Philadelphia. They have taken Isaac Holt right to the Cowboy locker room, I assume, for x-rays.
Well, it's his left hand. I think he was coming across to make the tackle, Pat, and his hand got caught in a face mask. It looked like he just dislocated something or pulled something out because they just grabbed the hand and took him off the field.
Second down. down, Philadelphia. Lockhart and Howard brought him down. Here it is.
Let's see if we can watch it. Here's Holt right there. And we'll watch his left hand as he reaches. See, it gets caught right in there. See, as it comes up here, that's when it happens. Now watch. He'll take the hand off. See him pull the left hand out. Then he just keeps it out. The trainers came in, just grabbed that left hand, and took him off the field.
And Keith Jackson, who just caught that pass, is still down. He's had an injury problem all year long. He's just getting back almost to 100%. That's a big loss.
Well, he had the back injury first, then he had a knee, and then both ankles. Hey, that looked like that could just be a twisted ankle again, but again, that wasn't a well ankle in the first place. See, he knows it's hurt right away. And again, he was coming in with 2 bad ankles and a knee. He said that after last Sunday's game, he said he woke up the next day and he said he just put his leg out of bed and he said it felt pretty good. Then he put the other leg down. He said he felt still good. And he said this is going to be a good week.
It was for a while. Mike Pitts standing back in the tunnel. He was ejected from the game following a scuffle in the first quarter. The rules say he has to leave the field. He's already showered, shaved, and ready to go home.
Hey, Keith Jackson is a player that if the Eagles are really going to make a run on this division and a real serious run into playoffs and possible championship, Super Bowl, that type of thing, they have to get this guy healthy.
It's just been one of those nagging things all year long. You could see the frustration as he walked off.
You know, when he was out, Randall Cunningham kept saying that he misses Keith Jackson because he's the guy he goes to for this. Then Keith said, boy, that's putting a lot of pressure on me, Randall, saying how much he misses me.
Jimmy Giles takes his place. First down, Philadelphia. Cunningham. Behind Byers. Vince Albritton was the closest Cowboy.
And now what they're probably going to do is take off his sock there and shoe and just probably put some more tape on there. Well, in fact, they're not going to take it off. They'll just tape right over the shoe. You see, under that sock, he has a tape job on his ankle. So now what they're going to do is they don't have time to go in and take all that stuff off, so they're just going to put a tape job on right over the outside.
Second down. Jesse Solomon.
Well, Randall coming in doesn't have his #1 guy in there. He'll throw it to his #2 guy. There's 41, Keith Byers. Just starts out. Boom, he goes out into the flat. Makes a catch here. Then he turns it on with speed. Gene Lockhart is trying to catch him. Byers gets that step on him. Makes a good cutback. Gets a ball out there. And then finally puts it away because he knows he's going to get hit.
A gain of 36 yards, Cunningham to Byers. This is Tony over the right side for a couple. Inside the Cowboy 20, stopped by Lockhart. The word, John, on Isaac Holt is that he has a dislocated shoulder and will not return to today's game.
Well, it must have been when he slapped with that left hand that the shoulder popped out, because he just pulled everything right off it on that play.
Second down, Eagles. They need 8 for a first from the Cowboy 19. Cunningham pulled it down. Chased out of bounds by Solomon. Gain of 1.
Yeah, this is the thing that sometimes something gets on your mind. You know, like you get inside the 20 and you start having trouble. and you get a penalty and you don't make it, you only score 1 touchdown in 8 quarters and so on, then you start to press too much when you get there. And you can relax going up and down the field, which the Eagles are. Then they get here, and maybe they are pressing a little.
Gets to be a mental thing.
I've seen that happen to a lot of teams.
3rd down at the 18. Throw to Myers. Incomplete. Eagles lead it 7-0. They've controlled the clock, and so far the scoreboard. Now Roger Ruzek will attempt to put them further ahead. It'll be from 36 yards. Kavanaugh holding. Right down the middle, right into the band in the tunnel by Ruzek.
Roger Ruzek has experience kicking here in Dallas Stadium. And the Eagles just signed him. We talked to Mike Saxon yesterday, the punter of the Cowboys. He said he talked to Roger Ruzek, and he said that he went up there for a tryout, and he hit 12 out of 12, and he knew Buddy was signing him. That was the good news. The bad news is he had to take a pay cut.
It's nice to be employed, though.
Well, you know, he held out, and that's probably the thing that slowed him up here, and I'm sure the thing that upset Jimmy Johnson with him. One thing about this, if you look at this, Pat, Buddy Ryan doesn't keep a kicker along to get real comfortable. He doesn't keep him around long enough.
The book on Buddy Ryan's patience with kickers is not one that would lead you to believe you have a lot of security.
And I'll tell you, anyone who has a lot of kickers on their team, or who has had a lot of kickers, somewhere along the line has had a Zendejas.
I'll guarantee you.
I think there's like 13 of them. I think half the teams in the NFL have a Zendejas.
If not yet, they will.
In fact, Zendejas here is signed with the Cowboys 4 different times.
At the conclusion of today's game, we will select players of the game from each team who will be candidates for the National Miller Lite Player of the Week honor. James Dixon. Out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Keith Jackson has retwisted his ankle, but the Eagles tell us he will be back.
Well, I think when you see him put the tape on the outside, that's a pretty good indicator that he's going to come back. If they thought it were more serious, or he thought it were more serious than that, he would have got into the locker room. But the fact that they taped him up right there in the sideline, he's going to play.
1st and 10. The Cowboys ball at their own 39. The Eagles lead 10-0. Sets up a screen pass to Steve Fulton. Hager made the stop. Pick up a 3 by Fulton. Ted Jones over on the end of the bench. The rest of the crew that's not in action right now. 2nd and 7. Aikman backpedals. Up into the pocket. Finally cut down.
You know, on that pass, it looked like Aikman didn't have anyone open, or someone ran the wrong pattern, because he sure looked confused on that play. Let's just watch the thing. We'll watch when he's ready to throw and see what he has downfield. See if we just stop it now. You see, he doesn't have anything here. He doesn't have anything here. He probably could have gone here or here, but he didn't, and he then looked confused. Then he started to step up in there. But that's what he was looking at when he was ready to throw. Now he couldn't throw, and he had to do this. I would have think that maybe he could have gone out there to the left side. That was the first sack today for the Eagles.
2:01 left. They were going to get the 2-minute warning, but Dallas called a timeout with 1 second to go before that 2-minute warning, so they'll have 2 left.
You know, you talk about football and Thanksgiving all kind of going together, and here at Dallas Stadium, it just seems funny not seeing Tom Landry here. That also kind of goes together. Dallas Cowboys, Thanksgiving, Dallas Stadium, and Tom Landry.
And Tex Ram sitting up in his box on the far side of the field. So long, so much a part of this organization. Incomplete to Dixon. So
Isaiah Jenkins thought that he had it. He knocked it out. And the official said, no, he didn't have it. He didn't have it.
So now we'll get that 2-minute warning. Grant to Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, making the total commitment to the organization $157,000. You look up at the Ring of Honor. Don Meredith, Bob Lilly, Don Perkins, Roger Staubach, and the last name just put up there not too long ago, Leroy Jordan. Mel Renfro and Chuck Howley are the 2 that you didn't see. That one was done very recently, and deservedly so. Saxon back to punt it for the Cowboys, and Gizmo Williams back deep for the Eagles. Saxon standing about his own 26-yard line. Another good kick. He is knocked down, and the flag comes down. And another flag further back downfield. The first one was for roughing the kicker, and I'm sure.
The interesting thing, it's only a 5-yard penalty now, and it won't be a first down. The Cowboys are going to have a decision now. You see Saxon punt, and you see him get hit after he kicks the ball right there by Andre Waters. Now the flag goes down, and it can either be a 5-yard or a 15-yard. If it's unnecessary roughness, it's a 15. If it's just running into the kicker, it's a 5. If it's a 5, it won't be a first down.
And obviously, if it's a 15, it would be.
There's no foul downfield. All we have is running into the kicker.
So this is going to be an interesting decision now for Jimmy Johnson. We see here, we see the punt, and then we see the run into the kicker, and now it's going to still be 4th down, but it looks like it'll be about 4th and 2 at about midfield.
I think they're going to say about 3 yards.
Yeah, he's still saying kick the ball.
It was a 5-yard penalty with a 4th down.
And past years, that would have been an automatic first down, but that's a change that was made, what, 2 years ago?
That was a rule change. It was made so that it wasn't an automatic first down unless it was really trying to hurt the kicker.
And he just barely grazed him. So punt it again.
Well, we saw Jimmy Johnson say to kick again. I think when you're down 10-0 and you're 1-10, this isn't a bad position to go for a fake punt. We know they're not going to do it because we saw him already tell him to kick it.
Williams signals fair catch again. Saxon was down, but the act that time wasn't good enough.
39-yard.
And nothing, the Eagles lead. America's homecoming week continues Saturday with college football action at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Number 22 ranked Penn State against number 19 Pittsburgh. Following that is the season premiere of the NBA on CBS. Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls, taking on the Golden State Warriors. Full Saturday of sports here on CBS. First down, Eagles. Cunningham retreats from the spread formation. just to continue with what's coming up on Saturday here on CBS, the big game, Notre Dame and Miami, as the Eagles are out quickly. Number 1 ranked Notre Dame against number 7 Miami. 2nd and 1. Cunningham again out of the spread. Outside Myers. Myers tripped up trying to get out of bounds, but got close to a first down nevertheless. The Eagles have 3 timeouts remaining. It is a first down by Myers from Cunningham. Less than a minute left. Cunningham fires again. Out of bounds by Walls. 2-yard pickup.
You know, the interesting thing here, if the Eagles could get another 10 or 15 yards, they would have a chance to throw a Hail Mary. But you can see on that last one, Randall Cunningham got hit. Watch Jeff Goat, number 77, right there, is going to come and hit Cunningham just as he throws the ball or right after it. Looked like he took a shot that just knocked the wind out of him in the ribs.
2nd and 8. Pass incomplete in the direction of Myers again. Everson Walls, the defender.
I think Cunningham is still hurting there. I think he's getting down there trying to just get some air back in himself. You know, it happened last week at the end of the half. Dan Marino got one more play, and he threw a Hail Mary, and they got the touchdown with 1 second left in the halftime. The Eagles, of course, have seen that film, so you know that the Eagles are thinking about it. You also know the Cowboys are.
3rd and 8. Ball's at the Eagle 28. Cunningham again. Incomplete on no flag. Chris Carter was the intended receiver. The Eagles will have to punt it away with 37 seconds left to play. Ron Francis was the defender.
I think Matt Darwin is down too, Pat.
Right.
In fact, he is. He was in pass protection, and he went down just at the end of the play. He's the left tackle for the Eagles. In fact, the Eagles felt that, you know, that he was just coming into his own and just playing his best football right now.
They're still checking on Darwin. 10-0. The Eagles lead the Cowboys. We're in the first half. Back at Texas Stadium, the Eagles leading 10-0 over the Cowboys with 37 seconds left to play in the first half. Darwin is still down. Buddy Ryan and his Eagles got in late last night. Worked out in Philadelphia yesterday in the cold.
Well, the toughest thing about, you know, playing on Thanksgiving Day is that you have that short week. But if you can get through it without any injuries and a win, then you have the advantage of having 10 days.
Of course, in 10 days, they have to go up and play the Giants at the Meadowlands. The Giants play San Francisco on Monday night.
Well, that was an encouraging thing, seeing Matt Darwin walk off, even though he's walking out through the back of the end zone and just going right into the locker room. At least he's walking without any help.
Runniger back to kick for the Eagles. Derek Shepard back deep for the Cowboys, standing at about his own 30. 37 seconds left to play in the first half. 10-0 Philadelphia. They're coming after it. Eagle coverage is excellent. The Cowboys have 2 timeouts remaining. 34-yard punt by Runniger coming up at the half. Brent Nerve with the scores, the other scores from today, the other game in Detroit. And also the inspirational story of Joe Gibbs, the Redskins coach, his efforts to create a caring environment for troubled teenagers, and he is really involved in that. Word on Darwin is that he has a twisted knee. in the locker room. He's already gone. We don't know if he'll be able to return or not. Aikman under pressure, chased by Reggie White. Finally just has to throw it away. Flag on the play. White knocked Aikman out of bounds. He was trying to, in the opinion of the officials, get rid of it to avoid a loss. That's a penalty.
Did you see Reggie White take off, though? I mean, this guy, watch 92 here. When he takes off, he's running about a 4.6. He's throwing that, and Aikman had to get rid of the ball, so they penalized him for throwing the ball away. But what the heck else can you do when you got a guy who weighs 290 pounds running a 4.6 40 flat at you? Hey, that's what makes him one of the best defensive linemen in the league. He's not only big and strong and all those things and quick, but he has that speed. I mean, a guy that is that big shouldn't be able to run that fast. He got some good parts when they handed out that deal.
Didn't he, though? Second down and 27. Strong play is to Palmer. Up outside the 30 by Wes Hopkins. Gain of 4. Timeout, Philadelphia. 14 seconds left to play in the first half.
Well, the Eagles are trying to get one more shot at it. They probably want to do is stop him here on 3rd, and then they want to go for a punt block, and if not, get one more shot.
Perhaps for Roger Ruzick, if they can block the punt.
Ruzick either needs a little less shirt or some more arm.
He doesn't look like he should be playing the same game as Reggie White, does he?
Hey, you see big old Reggie White running around there knocking guys around, and the guy, his hair isn't even messed up. You know, Reggie wears a jersey a couple sizes too small too. I mean, that, you know, I mean, normal guy, I mean, he'd wear triple extra large. That's probably about a large.
And those are like kids' shoulder pads too. Very small.
I know it. He does. Well, see what that. The thing that bothers Reggie is guys holding him, and he thinks if you put tight stuff on, they don't have anything to hold.
Third down. Left side won't be enough for a first down. The Eagles again to call a timeout with 9 seconds left. They'll have to put some heat on Mike Saxon.
Well, you know, sometime with only 9 seconds, sometimes the play is you just put all 11 guys up there and try and block the punt. You don't even have a punt returner back there.
And if you've got the ball, sometimes the play is just run around with it back there. If your kickers are good enough athletes to run the timeout that way.
Well, the Eagles are putting Gizmo back there, so unless they play with 12, you know they're only going to have 10 up there.
9 seconds remaining in the first half. Reggie White checks back in to help with the rush on Saxon.
I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe they just want him to put a pass rush, take 92 and come straight up the middle.
Saxon just barely got it out of there. Williams going to try to field it.
Get back! Get back!
Saxon saw Reggie White line up there and come in here, tried to kick it away from him.
I think you're exactly right. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Eagles 10, the Cowboys nothing. At Texas Stadium on a bright, clear Thanksgiving afternoon, the Eagles lead the Cowboys 10-0. Dallas will kick off to start the second half. Zendejas back deep for Philadelphia. I'm not sure who the deep back is going to eventually be. Anthony Edwards, one of them. He's the one in the middle. Zendejas will kick it off. 10-0. Eagles lead. Short kick. To about the 25, a return of 11. Stopped by Bill Bass. So long a fixture here now. Plays on special teams, and Dejas is down.
I think he got knocked out. He's going to the wrong sideline. He's groggy.
Well, he was with the Eagles, you know.
I know it, but he's either going over there because he doesn't know where he is, or he's going over there to argue with someone.
I think he sees a galaxy or something.
No, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's down.
The kicking team. We're going to take it on from the end of the run, 15 yards, and a first down.
And then the penalty is against the Cowboys. But Zendejas got hit. And he was groggy. Then he got up, he talked to Cunningham, and then he went back down.
He probably forgot or lost who he was with. Gene Barth, the referee, and still there's a lot of milling around going on. And Zendejas is still down. Jimmy Johnson out on the field now talking with one of the officials. Zendejas is back up.
You know, most times if a kicker kicks off and doesn't really run down to make the tackle, they don't block him. The Eagles sent someone after Zendejas. That's probably what he was arguing about, that he wasn't going down, but I don't think that he knows what he's arguing about.
I don't think so either, not right now at least. I know that Johnson's very upset.
Well, Zendejas still doesn't have his bearings.
It used to be when you kicked off, you had to run down and cover kicks, and they always sent somebody after you.
He got knocked off his axis.
First down and 10. Eagles at their own 41-yard line. And gives to Tony. Stopped by Jeffcoat after a gain of 3.
They're calling leading the charge defensively for Bills.
You know, one thing about Randall Cunningham, you can see how he likes his running backs and tight ends. Wide receivers, he's only 2 for 9. Running back 7 for 8. That's Byers, most of it. And then tight ends 3 for 3. So other than the tight end and the running backs, he's only completed 2 passes to wide receiver. One of them was for a touchdown.
Here comes the blitz on Cunningham, chased out of the pocket in the direction of Byers. Flag on the play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 92 defense.
Roughing the passer is the call against the Cowboys. Tolbert.
That's Tony Tolbert, and you see Cunningham throw the ball. Tolbert pushes him after he throws it. I don't know how tough that is, but I think Gene Barth, the referee, is trying to get control back of the game. You know, after the Zendejas thing, we had a big fight in the first half. We had an ejection. We had Jimmy Johnson out in the field arguing, and he's probably saying, I'm not going to let this thing get out of hand.
That really didn't look like roughing the passer. And Norton. Eugene Lockhart leads all tacklers in the NFL. He's had an outstanding year, and it continues.
Well, he likes this defense, although they have different guys playing. He's playing with different guys on either side, but the old flex defense was more of a read and take a gap, and this gives Gene Lockhart, this defense, gives him a little more freedom to just go after the ball carrier and jump on him.
2nd and 7. Byers split wide to the right as a wide receiver this time. Cunningham in the direction of Byers.
The fans are still upset about that call on Tony Tolbert. You said that had to be one that the referee was just trying to show him that he had control back of the game, because it sure didn't look like a roughing penalty of anything.
Looks like more of a push than anything else. 3rd and 7. Eagles at the Cowboy 38.
is in at left tackle. Matt Darwin, I saw, just came back on the field, not in the lineup.
Myers in the slot left this time. He's looking in that direction. Now he looks in the other direction. The lob is complete to Keith Jackson.
We just got word, Pat, that Zendejas took a shot in the head, and they're not sure if he'll be able to kick again.
Well, he's chewing gum. That's a good sign. Yeah, that's smelling salts.
They had the smelling salts up there to try to get those cobwebs cleared out. Looked like he took a pretty good shot.
First down, the Eagles at the Cowboys 22. Gives to Myers. Myers is down inside the 15 to about the 12, but still on his feet struggling. Emerson Walls finally got him down.
Hey, watch this play, Pat. This is that counter play where both the guard and tackle pull. Myers is going to take a step and get in behind him. Ken Reeves is number 66. He'll end up leading. You see him there? Now watch. Myers just looks for 66. Gets right in behind him. Runs off that thing. Keeps the feet going. And the Cowboys just can't get him down. It's like an old bulldog around there.
Finally they did. Second down. And one at the 13. Says there's too much noise, I can't hear, and Gene Barth stops it.
Well, we've had everything else. We might as well have one of those crowd noise things.
Delay of game on the quarterback, 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat the down.
Delay of game on the quarterback. That didn't seem like that long, but there's a 5-yard penalty tacked against the Eagles.
I think Randall Cunningham was talking to the bench, and he gave him that hurry-up signal. You know, get it in there sooner.
That makes it 2nd and 6 in any case. Cunningham. Another spectacular catch by Chris Carter in the end zone. And it's a touchdown. Everson Wall, I don't think Everson thought he had a chance to catch it. But again, a one-handed stab.
I think what helped is Randall Cunningham pumps before he throws it. And as you say, Everson Walls was beaten, and he just gave up. He just stood there. I tell you, had he gone and run through him, he could have knocked that ball out of there. But what could have helped was the pump fake by Randall Cunningham.
Did he get both feet down?
He sure did.
They're going to review it.
I think a guy does an acrobatic catch like that with one hand, you got to give him the touchdown.
Something about Chris Carter in the end zone.
And make it one hand, the left foot's down. And the right foot, it's hard to tell if that is on the line or not. We have to look at it here. We can look right down the line. He has the ball, left foot's in, right foot is in. I think if he had possession, his feet were in. Now you watch the ball. I think he had possession all the way. I think that's a good catch.
After review by the replay official, the score counts. Touchdown.
Touchdown. Ruzek will try the extra point. 18-yard touchdown pass. Cunningham to Carter. Another brilliant catch. Ruzek's extra point is good. That makes it 17-0 Eagles. With 11:27 left to play in the third quarter at Texas Stadium.
Let's look at the pattern that Chris Carter runs. He's here. Here's Everson Walls. Carter's going to take him here, bring him in here. He gets Walls turned around. Then he breaks back to the corner. But watch the quarterback also. Randall Cunningham with the pump. You see the pump there? Everson Walls was looking, took a peek in there, just at the time he was given that move by Chris Carter,
who made a spectacular catch for the second time today to go along with the one he made last week. He's having a good time in the end zone.
I'll tell you, he's made all Thanksgiving Day.
He really has. Ruzic's kickoff again is short. It's going to be Derek Shepard, I believe. To the 35. Coming up tomorrow at 2:30, the Razorbacks against the Aggies in College Station at 2:30 Eastern Time. The winner, in all likelihood, to the Cotton Bowl. The loser, perhaps, to the John Hancock Sun Bowl. Ron Soap.
That's the stuff they put on fighters, Pat. They put some stuff up there to stop the bleeding. I'm surprised they don't have that thing they pull out of ice, you know, to put the pressure on it. This thing has been like the prize fighter at wrestling match.
From the beginning. 17-0 Cowboys. Darrell Johnston. Byron Evans made the stop.
Yeah, they started off running with Darrell Johnston. They got away from it. I think that wasn't a bad way to go. This is a tough guy. I mean, this guy's a guy who's a good blocker, good hard runner. And you don't know what he is. You know, he's a combination. He's tough. When he was in high school, he had a 4.0 average. The guy's an A student, too. Look, they just run in there. They get their helmet knocked off. Just check the head's okay. The eyes are still there. Got all the stuff.
Aikman again. Darrell Johnston. And the Eagles are claiming they've got it. Wes Hopkins thinks he got it, and he did. The Eagles come up with it. They already lead 17-0.
I think Andre Waters came in there and made the pop. That's it. It's going to start off to the left, and watch number 20 come in. They get pretty good block in there. He has a hole. Well, watch him right there. 20 came in. Andre Waters, you talk about a little guy who brings a big load.
Boy.
He came in there and really put a whap on Johnston. But this guy is a guy who plays the game like a linebacker. He's a defensive back, and he stays fired up. He knows he made a hit. The other guy knows he made a hit, and they're going to give him high fives and back slaps for about 5 minutes on that one.
Eagle first down from the Dallas 43. Tony hammers inside the 40. 5-yard pickup.
And that's the thing that makes the Eagles a good team. If you look, you know, they don't really have all their things clicking on offense yet. They play good defense. Well, you look at that turnover ratio, and that's the thing that gives them a 7-4 record.
And look at the difference between them and the Cowboys.
And that's part of the reason the Cowboys are 1-10.
That's right. Second down 5. Ball at the 39. Cunningham gets it to Tony. Be enough for an Eagle first down. Del Rio on the stop. 9.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. 17-0 Eagles.
You know, that's what Buddy Ryan preaches. He preaches turnovers. I'm sure he's happy as heck with Andre Waters because Buddy believes that on defense you can get the ball, and on defense you can score points. You don't have to just sit there and play defense. You can be offensive on defense.
Play good defense and develop a running attack. That'll get you there, Buddy Ryan says. Giles is the man in motion. Cunningham gets it to fire. Spins away from one of the Cowboy defenders, and a group joins. Jack Del Rio first.
See Heller down there, 73? And those completed passes, man, he runs down, he wants a hunk of someone. You don't see a lot of tackles downfield on a completed pass. That's Randall Cunningham back here. Finds Byers in the middle, just zips it to him. A little spin. After the spin, he's going to find a whole bunch of white jerseys, but then he's going to get some help from his friend. Watch, there's Reeves. There comes Heller. He just puts his helmet in there and just starts knocking the pile off, chipping away.
Byers split out wide to the right this time. intended for Byers, who got tangled up with Ron Francis.
Randall Cunningham's pass intended for Keith Byers.
Hey, Randall Cunningham tried to throw that same pass to Byers that he threw to Chris Carter, even the pump part of it. You know, he came back, boom, he pumped, then he came back, reloaded, and threw it out there.
2nd and 10.
That makes it 2nd and 10, the Eagles. The Dallas 17. They already lead 17-0. Was Vince Albritton, and he was right in Cunningham's face.
That is a tough thing when you're going to, here's Albritton, and you're going to come out this way, and you're sprinting into a blitz. It's almost impossible. Watch Cunningham come out there, Albritton come this way. Cunningham just had to throw that one away. That's the one thing. If you're going to audible, that would have been a play to audibilize out of.
Third down. Another blitz by Dallas. Jackson gets open at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal from there. Stopped by Francis, a 12-yard pickup.
I think that's why Cunningham feels so comfortable with Keith Jackson, because he's getting a blitz, he's getting a heavy rush, and he knows Jackson's going to be in the middle, and he'll find something. Jackson plays off a defensive back the way a pass rusher plays off an offensive lineman. You see that he has
that
those
same technique.
type of move.
Yeah. Same technique. 1st and goal at the 5 for the Eagles. Close. Jeff Kobe stopped him about a half-yard short with an assist from Ray Norton.
But we'll see the play coming right here. Now, Tony is trying to reach the ball and break the plane of the goal line, but once your knee's down, it's where the ball is where your knee's down. See, he did touch the goal line, but his knee was down.
So it's 2nd and goal at the 1. Byers and Tony behind Cunningham. Byers. And he's in. Touchdown, Keith Byers, and the Eagles extend their lead.
Boy, you hear that? It sounded like he almost popped that ball when he threw it down.
A delayed spike.
I tell you, that was a man-sized spike. They get pretty good control there. Byers just does this one himself. I mean, he has stopped. He has stopped outside, and he just keeps running and moving and clawing and pushing and puts the ball out there.
Ruzek hits the extra point, and it's 24-0. Philadelphia leads with 6:52 left in the 3rd quarter. A commanding advantage. The Eagles scoring drive after the fumble recovery. 8 plays, 43 yards, 337. They kept it. Byers got the touchdown from 1 yard away. Still working on Ron Soap.
Yeah, they still don't have that thing stopped, but on Thanksgiving Day, he could come up with a wink.
Happy Thanksgiving Day for the Eagles. Fine drive kickoff. Finally did get out of bounds, and they'll bring it back to the 35. America's homecoming week continues Saturday with college football action at 12 Eastern Time. Penn State against Pittsburgh. Following that is the season premiere of the NBA on CBS. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls taking on the Golden State Warriors. And later that day, more college football action with #1 ranked Notre Dame taking on #7 Miami. Big day coming up Saturday here on CBS.
Hey, that last touchdown, I think he had to give to Andre Waters because it was his hit on Darrell Johnston that got the ball for the Eagles in good field position.
Aikman trying to get away from the center, fell down, got got back up, finally throws in the direction of Palmer, but there's nothing there. He just couldn't get enough on it.
Hey, Aikman is having a frustrating day. There's not much has gone right for him. And I don't think it was protection. His protection really hasn't been all that bad, but it's these types of things. You know, the right guard, Crawford Kerr, steps on his foot, knocks him down, and he has to get up. Not having guys to throw to, not having guys open.
Plus, he's got that hematoma.
Big old hematoma in his right ear.
Second attempt. Reggie White after Aikman. Aikman is down. He was hit by White. Pass was intended for Steve Folsom, and Aikman is struggling to get up.
Boy, did Reggie White make a move. Watch him right here. He's going to come up and take a hard inside charge here. Luckily, they had a double team on, but watch when he decides to take the inside. You see it right there? Then he goes back. They keep a back end to knock him down. But when you feel a guy like Reggie at your feet and then a guy like Clyde Simmons coming on the other side, you better get rid of the ball.
3rd and 10. The heat will continue. White looped inside. That time he again is chasing him. Flag on the play. Aikman again had to get rid of it.
Well, that's the other thing that Reggie White did that we talked about before that he does. He has so much speed. I mean, he got the size. Watch him. Boom, he's going to come inside.
Defense,
He comes up the field.
5-yard penalty.
Now watch, he takes off. Watch his speed. Aikman has good speed. Reggie White can catch him from behind. Then he does some damage when he gets there.
And a penalty marker on the play.
That's a neutral zone here. Now the neutral zone is the length of the ball, so it's here. So when you get lined up in this zone, you get that hand and stuff over, then that's lining up in the neutral zone. That's a penalty. See, now he started out, he was okay. You see, and then when he goes here, now watch, that hand there gets in that line. You can't do that.
So it makes it 3rd and 5. Again, pressure on Aikman. The pass is complete. This is to Derek Shepard, but not enough for a first down. A gain of 4. Andre Waters up to make the hit. They're going to measure. Waters is down on the far side of the field. He's the guy who made the stop. He's also the man who caused that fumble earlier that led to the Eagles' last touchdown. Jerry Jones, the owner, president, the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, down on the sideline.
I'll tell you, that's tough to be an owner on the sideline when your team's down 24-0.
I was talking to him before the game. There were some reports in a paper earlier this week that the Cowboys are having some difficulty meeting some of their financial obligations, and all that has been retracted. And he said, in fact, to me that financially the Cowboys are as good a help as any team in the NFL.
And there was a story that they owed Aikman a $1.5 million check, and he didn't get it. Of course, there was no truth to that.
4th and 1. Roderick Sargent out of bounds inside the 15. He pulled a hamstring, I'll guarantee you.
He did. He was like he was shot. Hey, it was a good block on the line of scrimmage by Nate Newton. He turned Jerome Brown out. Watch it. He's going to turn out right there. See 61? Turn him out there. That gave the hole. Now watch. Sargent's going down the field, and you're going to see right where he pulls the hamstring. Right there. That thing popped. Boy,
You don't know the pain unless you've had one of those.
That's like, it could be a cramp, though, too, but that's like driving a car and getting a flat tire, getting a blowout.
That really hurts. Aikman knocked away by the last second. Derek Shepard was the intended receiver. Eric Allen knocked it away.
Watch Eric Allen here. He's a guy who is becoming one of the top corners in this league. He's only a second-year guy, but a real good cover guy. In fact, of all the plays, that's the first play that I can remember today being thrown at him. And that is coverage like blanket coverage. And the thing that really helped him with confidence was having to cover Mike Quick in practice every day as a rookie.
This is the Cowboys' deepest penetration of the day, and Aikman backpedaled. Fire to the outside, intended for Junior Cartelatasi, almost picked off by Byron Evans. And he had a touchdown in front of him.
See Broderick Sargent there, taking him to the sideline. As you said, a pulled hamstring is a real painful thing. It's just like something snaps in there.
And there's no way to get comfortable after it happens.
There's a guy who doesn't look comfortable.
He doesn't have a pulled hamstring, but he's hurting. Aikman. James Dixon, the intended receiver. Allen was with him as a flag down in the end zone.
I don't know that I would mess too much with Eric Allen because his coverage has been excellent. Maybe we're going to throw that. I'd find someone else to throw it on. You wonder why officials have to have conferences. Look at those Eagles standing around there saying it's a dead ball.
They want to get into the conference.
We have an interception and a touchback. However, he demonstrated by illegally spiking.
Now, he got the interception.
Well, you know what they're saying, and I kind of agree. What's the difference between that and a guy who scores a touchdown and spikes the ball? Because the clock is stopped anyway.
After the interception was called taunting. That is an unsportsmanlike foul. We'll go half the distance from the 20 back to the 10-yard line.
Oh, it wasn't. It was called. See, they put a new rule in about 5 or 6 years ago that you can't taunt or bait. Now, if you know what either one of those two words mean, you shouldn't even be playing defense.
He spiked the ball, as you said. The Eagles 24, Dallas nothing. Pat Summerall with John Madden. 5:20 left in the third quarter. I'm not sure what kind of animal that is. It's first down, Eagles. Fire. Flag on the play. No gain. 5:14 left third quarter. Jeffcoat made the stop on Byard. But a penalty. Holding against the Eagles.
I think the Eagles are going to be in good shape because
66 offense. Penalty refused. Second down.
you know, now they have in the third quarter they have a 24-0 lead. So anyone that is injured, Buddy can start to rest now. And then after the game, they're going to get 3 days off. And then that'll let them rest some more, and then they'll have a long week of preparation for the Giants. So they'll be in pretty good shape for the run at the end.
The extra 3 days will help. Steve Byers caught the pass, a gain of 3. Jack Del Rio again made the tackle.
On the stop for the Cowboys.
As you know, they're going to play the Giants. The Giants are be coming off a short week because they play on Monday night.
In San Francisco.
Right, so it'll be a combination of one team having a long week, the other one having a short week. Then you remember the first time they played, the Eagles beat the Giants.
Third down and 7 at the 13. Cunningham will operate from the spring formation. to the 42, a legal first down, stopped by Hendricks. But a gain of 29 yards, and they'll keep the ball and keep the clock in motion.
You know, the thing that Chris Carter does is he really has the movement. And, he'll come up, then he's going to come across, and you watch him at the top of the screen, he's coming all the way across, then he catches the ball, now he thinks touchdown. Now he's still making moves, still trying to get up the field. The other thing that impresses me, though, is the way Cunningham pumps the ball. He's a lot like a basketball player playing football.
He is, in fact, an excellent basketball player. Hammers down in Cowboy territory, out of bounds at the 41. A gain of 18, stopped by Robert Williams.
Yeah, the only two guys. Cunningham started to go down. The fans started to cheer, and he just jumped up again and said, "To heck with it, he's not coming out." Watch him here. He's going to throw the ball out here. Number 77, Jeffcoat, is going to hit him around the legs right after he throws it. It looked like he got twisted, but there was no way he was going to come out on that play.
Pete Byers has caught 8 passes for 90 yards. Outside quickly to run. Johnson gets another Eagle first down. Dropped by Lockhart. 13-yard gain. Over on the Cowboy bench, Sargent. I'm not sure what happened. We thought it was a hamstring. Now it looks like they're working on one of his ankles.
I think sometimes you can get a combination thing where you can get more than one thing. In fact, I see they're bringing that stretcher cart out now.
Byers and Tony behind Cunningham. First down at the Dallas 27. Tony. Upset about things. Norton was the tackler. Tony was upset and remains upset.
Boy, that's Ken Norton Jr. in there. Number 51, he was the guy in there. You know who his dad is.
2 flags down now.
I think something's going to happen to number 51, the Cowboys, on that one. This is an all-time Thanksgiving record for brawls, Pat. We've had more time spent brawling than ever in Thanksgiving Day history.
These guys think whoever wears the different color they do is their turkey for the day.
Well, you know, there's that thing between Buddy Ryan and the Cowboys, and when Jimmy Johnson got the job with the Cowboys, he said there's no East Carolinas on this schedule and those types of things. Roderick Sargent.
This ought to be. This might take us till Sunday to describe this penalty.
Probably some ejections.
We have offsetting penalties. I had unnecessary roughness on the man who tackled the ball carrier. However, the ball carrier grabbed his mask and pulled him down. There was a subsequent foul by 51 defense. It all offsets. We're going to replay the down.
That's the dumbest rule they got, where they just go through all that and they all offset. They're saying it was a penalty on Norton, the first one, then a penalty for Tony for fighting back. Then there's going to be another penalty on Norton. They didn't know the same guy did both of them. But that's a stupid thing when they offset him. Even Cunningham's in there. He shouldn't be in there. Look at him. That's the second one for Norton. Stupid penalty when they just say it's offsetting, man.
Here's Cunningham. Draw play for Tony. And he fights for yardage. Lockhart.
Right here, right here.
Hey, this thing has been a highly intense game the whole way. I mean, there has really been some hitting in this thing. We've had 2 brawls. We've had an ejection. We've had a taunt. And I think Buddy Ryan loves it.
Oh, I think he doesn't object to taunting or scrapping. Or
Al Harris was saying Buddy likes confidence. And he said, well, he really likes coffee. It's what he likes.
second down. Cunningham up the middle. Intended for Jimmy Giles, incomplete.
Keith Jackson is coming into the game, so Giles, I think, is just spelling Jackson, and they're still keeping Jackson playing, but just letting them not have to get tired by playing every play.
50 seconds left to play in the third quarter. The Eagles lead the Cowboys 24-0. Third down and 7 at the Dallas 24. Jackson now comes out. They go with 4 wide receivers. One of them was fired. Draw play to Tony. Flag on the play again. Danny Noonan made the stop. Holding against Philadelphia.
You know, the other thing I think that we have to be reaching a Thanksgiving record for penalties. We've had 18.
Close to it.
I mean, that's we're not through with the third quarter yet.
Holding, 79 offense. 10-yard penalty, replay the third down.
Holding call against Mike Shad.
Boy, Shad's had some stuff today.
Yeah.
He was the guy that knocked the ball out of Cunningham's hands. I think he was the guy that moved on a field goal.
Took him out of field goal range.
Yeah, had a holding penalty. But he's doing a good job of blocking. You know, all you hear is his name then, but you haven't seen his guy get to Cunningham.
3rd and 16. Cunningham out of the trap and off to the races. Fumble. Recovered by Carter. Emerson Walls made the hit on Cunningham. And he got him back in field goal range without question.
That's the thing that Cunningham, I mean, he has so many dimensions that he's just like a guy that can make something happen any time that he's out there.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Eagles 24, the Cowboys nothing. At Texas Stadium, Pat Summerall, John Madden here on Thanksgiving Day. Hope yours has been a good one. It has been so far for the Eagles, 24-0. They lead Dallas. We'll come back with Matt Cavanaugh holding for Roger Ruzek to try to make it 27-0 Eagles. Former Cowboy Roger Ruzek. 4th and 4 for Philadelphia. 38-yard attempt. Jimmy Johnson has little to celebrate today. The Eagles have shut his team out. Ruzek's kick is good. It's 27-0 Eagles. John, you know the Cowboys, you were talking about this earlier. The Cowboys not only haven't been able to get anybody open, Aikman hasn't had any time to throw if somebody did happen to get open.
Well, I mean, it's a frustrating game for the Cowboys all around offensively because they really haven't been able to get any running going, and they haven't been able to really calm down that pass rush. Then if they do, they don't have anyone open, and so they haven't hit on any one thing. And then if you don't hit on any one thing, then it's tough to get the other things going.
Send turkey and cheesesteaks.
In that order.
Yeah, good combination.
Hey, we have a great turkey for the bus. It's a barbecued smoked one that you got. I want to thank you for that. We're gonna cut into that thing. We're gonna whack that thing apart when this game's over.
Well, we'll be headed for Washington on Sunday when the Bears visit RFK Stadium. All I can say is save me a piece.
Okay. In fact, I was thinking, you know what we ought to do is just cut the drumstick off, you know, the big old drumstick, and give it to like the player of the game.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you get a big old hunk leg of turkey and you just whack it off, and someone goes in the locker room and gives it to the guy and let him start his turkey eating right after the game. I think I'll do that.
27-0. As we begin the fourth quarter, Ruzek's kick will be handled by Dixon. Dixon to the 38. The cruiser in readiness down underneath the stadium, and the turkey is in readiness on board.
Look at that thing. There's a turkey right there.
Enjoy.
That's Dave Hahn, the driver. He's just pulling it out of the oven. That thing looks like it's ready to go. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. That ought to get you up the road at least halfway there.
I know. Look, the tape. We got the tapes to watch. A big old knife and a fork there. I don't like those grapes on there. It's great. Brian, I'm going to whack a leg off that. We'll give it to the player of the game.
Okay. I don't know who it'd be so far. Either Cunningham or Byers, I guess. Here's Aikman. Clyde Simmons on the stop. 27-0. Eagles scoring Summerall. Cunningham hit Carter. Another spectacular catch in the end zone. Ruzek 36-yard field goal in the second quarter. Cunningham again to Carter, 18 yards away. Another one-handed catch. And Keith Byers on a 1-yard touchdown run, and then Ruzek another field goal. Now that's all the points. None for the Cowboys. Kavanaugh starts loosening up on the sideline. 2nd and 5. Pass is caught by Shepard. And he rims the wrestling match with Jenkins to get the Cowboys first down, a gain of 13.
Yeah, I think Buddy Ryan figures in the fourth quarter with a 27-0 lead that he's happy with his quarterback, Randall Cunningham. And Cunningham has gone down a couple times today, and I would expect that Buddy's going to take him out and rest him for the next one.
He's taken a couple of pretty good shots. 13-yard gain gives the Cowboys a first down, their longest pass completion of the day. Aikman fumbled. The exchange from center, and I think he got it back. Jerome Brown caused the confusion.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson was saying yesterday when someone asked him what he needs, I think he needs to get those draft choices or maybe make some trades with the draft choices, get some players. But he says, what I need to really start improving this team is another training camp. In his first year, he said, I wasn't sure what the training camp really was, but then as you go through a season, you realize how important it was and you want it again.
Aikman gets it to Dixon. He was down. Wes Hopkins came out of there with the ball, but he was down. Jerome Brown now has it. Jimmy Johnson had that outstanding record in college. This has to be a very, very frustrating year for him and for the new owner. I think that shows it.
Well, you know, like he said it's easy to talk about and you expect it, you know it's going to happen. He said, but then living through it is the tough thing.
First down, Dallas at the Eagle 36. Straight back. Aikman's pass is picked off by Byron Evans. And the Eagles get it back. Junior Tartalatasi took him down. We'll return to Texas Stadium After this word from your local station. The Eagles have changed quarterbacks. That's Matt Cavanaugh. Cunningham's day is probably over. 21 out of 33 he was for 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cavanaugh up the middle to Robert Drummond. That's the flag on the play.
It's back in that area of offensive holding.
That's going to be the indication.
You know, Cunningham had only thrown one pass.
10-yard penalty, replay the first down.
Cavanaugh
had only thrown one pass, I was saying, and that was up until now, and that was an interception against the Denver Broncos. Then he comes in, he gets another shot, he throws one, and there's a penalty. So he is yet to complete a pass to a guy on his team that counts.
The Eagles have been penalized 12 times for 85 yards. Myers and Drummond now are the 2 backs behind Cavanaugh. Gonna throw it again. Pretty good throw, too. Intended for Ron Johnson, bounced off his hands. Manny Hendricks was the defender. Here's Steve Walsh. The other rookie quarterback for Dallas, getting ready to get some exposure today. Here is Too Tall Jones playing in the closing minutes of perhaps his career and this game with 11 minutes left to play.
Of course, Ed Too Tall Jones has been a defensive end for years now. He's moved in one man to defensive tackle.
Jeff Coates, Robert Williams made the stop, a gain of 7.
This is the type of thing as the Eagles that you always like to do, of course, is, you know, get that big lead on the road. At this part of the season, it's even more important because now, you know, after the first 4 or 5 or 6 games, everyone in the National Football League's playing hurt. It's just, you know, how hurt. So when you can rest some of those things, it gets to be a big advantage for you.
3rd and 13.
Come on, Jim.
Cavanaugh back in the Eagles shotgun. Flag on the play again. He got the pass complete to Jimmy Giles. That would be enough for a first down, but it's, well, there are 2 flags on the play.
They're not going to let Matt Cavanaugh have an official completion for this season yet. For a guy, that's the second one. That's going to be another holding against the Eagles.
And then there's another one downfield.
Dave Remington is now playing center in place of David Alexander for the Eagles.
We got multiple fouls against the offense. An illegal block in the back after the completion downfield by number 85. That penalty's refused. We got offensive hold by number 50. We'll enforce that foul. We'll replay the 3rd down.
Well, that was Dave Remington, who I just said had replaced Dave Alexander. Watch, he's right there over the ball, and they're saying that he's holding on the shotgun. That's tough, having to center the ball, get it between your legs, get your left hand up, then get back into pass protection. Right there at the beginning of it, he had pretty good blocking. Looks like pretty good position there.
They move the Eagles back. It's 3rd and 23 now. Philadelphia leading Dallas 27-0. Troy Aikman over on the sideline. He didn't have much today.
I'll tell you, it's been a long day for him.
Looks like it's going to be Walsh when the Cowboys get the ball back. Aikman was 5 out of 18 for only 29 yards. Beg your pardon, 7 of 21.
You know, the thing is, he had big days the last 2 games, but he played against Miami and Phoenix, who didn't have the pass rush. They were softer defenses than he faced today against this Eagle team.
Runniger back to punt it. Eric Shepard deep. Bad hit by Runniger off the side of his foot. Makes a Cowboy bounce. The Eagles will down it at their own 35. Hager. So we have 8:52 remaining. in the fourth quarter, 27-0 after a 16-yard punt by Runniger. That's pretty much the story of this game. 5 turnovers by the Cowboys. Carter, 2 spectacular touchdown catches. And Cunningham, 21 out of 33 for 234 yards. That's about all you can say about summarizing what's happened here. The Eagles defense has done well as well.
Right. I think in this game we have just what we started with. We had one team that's 1-10, is one of the worst teams in the National Football League. We had another one that's 7-4 that is playoff bound, and one of the best teams in the league. And when they meet, something like this is going to happen.
On first down, Walsh goes back to throw it. Gets it to Junior Cunningham. He gets to the Eagle 20. Pick up a 15. Steve Walsh. A lot of speculation, particularly earlier in the year, about whether they would keep him and Aikman. One of them would be traded. Aikman has a clause in his contract that said it can't be he.
After a day like today, maybe he'd want it to be he.
Walsh inside the Colson. Down inside the 15. Terry Hogue brought him down.
I tell you, when things go bad, there's not much that can be more lonely than being a quarterback. When things go well, I'll guarantee you they're all jumping around your locker.
Nobody even calls you on the phone. 2nd and 3. Sack by Reggie White.
That's where Reggie White likes to line up best. We talked about that when he can get a pass rush up the middle. You watch him here. He's right over the center. Now here's Remington. He's going to take a side and come straight up the middle. Watch him. 92. He's over the center. Rafferty. He just takes the side. He's just too strong for him. And the good thing about lining up over the middle is once you break by him, you see, once he gets by Rafferty there, now you're right on the quarterback. When you come from the outside, you can get by your guy, and you still have 4 or 5 yards to run.
That'll make it 3rd and 10. Walsh headed for the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Derek Shepard. And momentarily, Sammy Lilly back there with him.
Just a little short. He had to come back, but he had it there. Shepard again had his hands too close to his body. And anytime you have him that close, when the ball hits your hands, it's going to simultaneously hit your shoulder pads. That's exactly what happened. And then when it hits your shoulder pads, they're hard plastic, and the ball just bounces out.
And Lilly got a hand in there to help it stay bounced out. 4th down. For Bernard Ford. Incomplete. Eric Allen back there with him. And so the Eagles will take over. They lead 27-0 with 6:51 left to play. On CBS. Stopped by Lockhart. Randall Cunningham had an outstanding day.
Yeah, you see him there in the sideline, Pat. It reminds me of the preseason. He's there smiling and stuff. In the preseason, he wanted to go see Whitney Houston, and it was a Saturday night game. So he played the first half, and Buddy Ryan led. He and Keith Jackson leave in the second half. And, you know, it's that type of thing. You know, when people say that Buddy Ryan is a player's coach, it's that type of thing that makes him a player's coach. I don't know if I would ever do that.
Martin Higgs was the ball carrier for Philadelphia that time for a gain of 8. Jesse Solomon made the stop. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Charles Milton III. Today's game produced by Robert Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman, and the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. They have produced today.
Andre Waters is down there. He's so happy. He's the guy that made the best hit of the game, though. He's the guy that made that hit and caused the fumble on Johnston.
And that sort of put the game away when they scored after that. Higgs again. Less than 6 minutes, less than 5.5 now. Danny Noonan made the stop after a gain of 5.
You know, the one that knows more about players than anyone knows their mother. It really is, because she's the one that no matter what happens in the game, she watches her son on every play. And when a mother says, you played well, the guy played well. And the mother says, you didn't play well, that guy didn't play well.
That's a pretty good judgment.
How you think?
They don't watch anything else.
The fathers will be watching strategy and who's got the ball. The mother will be watching her son.
That's all. That's all she cares about.
That's Heath Sherman. Near a first down. Gain of 5. Here's the way it'll stand now. The Eagles winning today will make it 8-4. The Giants in San Francisco on Monday night lead with a record of 9-2. Dallas will be 1-11. Buddy Ryan says we have to win the rest of them if we're going to win the division. They play Dallas again in 2 weeks, at the Giants for the big one. Tough challenge at New Orleans, and then they close with Phoenix.
And I think that his idea is the right idea, that you don't go at this point of the season looking for a wild card. You go to win the whole thing, and if you end up with a wild card, you still got something. But if you start thinking wild card, then you usually end up empty-handed.
The season ended today. The 2 wild card teams would be the Rams and the Eagles. But there's still some action left. 9-yard gain.
Those are 2 teams that are playing well now. I think both of them went in a little slump. Eagles lost a couple games in a row. The Rams lost 4 games in a row. They were getting ugly there for a while, but they kind of put some perfume on their deal.
Last time we saw the Rams, they beat the Giants convincingly. Last shutout was against Atlanta 54 games ago. Kavanaugh missed the handoff intended for Heath Sherman. Keith Jackson over on the sideline. He's through for the day. Good day, Keith.
Yeah, well, he's happy, though. I mean, he's taken all the wrappings off. Like we said, he had a bad back, a bad knee, and 2 bad ankles. That just being able to get up the next day and stand up makes you feel good. And he's only in his 2nd year. He's happy, though. He's celebrating. He wasn't that happy. You know, he played with Troy Aikman. They were both at the University of Oklahoma. He said when Troy Aikman left and transferred out, he said he took his Heisman Trophy with him.
Tony, I believe, the ball carriers. No, Drummond. The Eagles just running out the clock now with the 2-minute warning about to come up. A 5-yard gain by Drummond. I think if you're a member of the Cowboys, you think, what are we going to do? How are we going to get this ship turned around, and how long is it going to last? The Eagles lead 27-0. Or go to College Station.
There they go right now. As we speak, they've had enough of this one. They're walking out, and they're going down to get ready for that game tomorrow. The old Razorback band.
Brings back memories.
Swing.
On 3rd down. Kavanaugh puts it to Heath Sherman. And he finally completed a pass, John.
Well, you know, he had the one in Denver. There was an interception. Hadn't completed a pass all year. Started out. Every time he'd complete one here today, there was a penalty. He finally got his first one. Jimmy walked up to the guy and said, nice catch.
The Eagles shutting out the Cowboys. 27-0. A minute and 20 seconds down remaining. Kavanaugh just run it out. And the Cowboys will not call a timeout. What good would it do? So the Eagles improve their record to 8-4 and stay on the heels of the Giants, depending on what happens to them against the 49ers on Monday night. They could either be a game behind or remain 2 behind. Should be the last play. Heath Sherman gets the carry from Kavanaugh. Gain of 4.
Look at Ron Heller. He's still down there. He's still got some action going. He's saying, boy, this is a long game. I started out the last play of the game, and they're still trying to get through my shield.
Well, we'll be back. We still got to pick the outstanding player for both teams. Once again, the final score is Philadelphia 27, the Dallas Cowboys 0.